Are you trying to figure out how to create a super basic logo for your website or for your business? If that's the case, you've made it to the right video. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I'm Mariah from MariahMagazine.com, and on this channel, I help simplify things like SEO, websites, tech, and I dive into tools and recommendations to help you grow your online business in a way that works for you. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a super basic logo in one of my favorite graphic design tools called Canva. Okay, so Canva is really great because it makes graphic design a lot more user-friendly. Okay, so there is a free version of Canva and there is a paid version of Canva. I will say I'm a pro user, so I use the paid version. So I have access to more templates and I can export my files a little differently and stuff like that. You can create a super basic logo for free, but just know that some of the features are going to be a little limited. Let's kick it into the screen share and I'm going to show you how to customize one of Canva's logo templates for your own business. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is head over to canva.com, or you can click the link in the video description box below. Just a heads up, it is an affiliate link. It will take you to a page that looks like this, but obviously you can totally mess around with the Canva free version, or you can mess around with the other ones, or you can see how I do this and then decide if you want to upgrade from the free in order to the paid. No pressure. You can do whatever you want to. But basically, after you sign up, then you're going to head over to your Canva dashboard. So basically, I'm just going to click this Canva button right here in the top hand corner. That's going to kick it over to a dashboard that kind of looks like this. So in terms of creating a logo, you have a couple options here. So you can, if this button pops up right here, you can click logo, and I'm just going to open it up in a new tab. That's going to kick it into like a completely blank slate for you to go ahead and create a logo. So then basically what you can do is come over here into the search bar and type in like your industry, your niche, or some kind of keyword that is going to pull up relevant templates that make sense for your industry, your business, and all of that stuff. Okay, so that's one option. The other option is that you can just start typing things into the search bar and then it will start to show you templates like in a wider screen. I usually prefer this. It's usually a little easier to kind of search and sift through. So my client, we're just going to create his logo for the sake of this example in this video. So he does mobile car detailing. So we thought that it might be a good idea to maybe have a car in the logo. So we're just going to type in logo car and then click enter on the keyboard and kind of just see what comes up here. So you're going to see a bunch of options that you can go ahead and you can sift through. Okay, there is no shortage of options. I will say, if you're like, nah, you know what, I'm not really feeling the car logo or whatever word you put in, you can come back up here. You can change like that extra keyword to kind of switch up the results. You can also come back here to templates, click on logos, and then this kind of like filterization pop-up will show up, and then you can kind of sift through the logos based on these keywords instead. So typography logos, like if you just want a word-based logo, circular logos, you can have a whole lot of fun with that. But basically we're going to go back to the car logos. And then when you're looking at them, just know that like you can change the font that is in the logo. So these are customizable, and you can change the colors pretty easy. But I will say this is pretty important. If you're messing around with just the free version and you want to stay, like keep it free, you ain't trying to pay for nothing, try to look for a template that doesn't have this crown icon here. Okay, if you have a paid version, if you have the pro version of Canva, you get access to all of the logos here for no additional charge. Okay, so that's a benefit of paying for Canva. To be honest, I just use this tool for literally creating all of the graphics in my business, so it's worth it to me. But if you wanted to keep it with the free version, I think you can maybe purchase like a template, like a one-time only fee. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But I just wanted to mention that if you wanted to stick with the free version, look for ones without the crown icon. Okay, so it might take a little extra sifting through, but essentially we are going to choose this one to customize. So go ahead and click on it, and then I am going to click customize this template. Now, when you do that, it's going to open up the template in a new tab for you here. And now we have the option to go ahead and to customize things. So as you can see, when I'm clicking on things, this customization bar kind of changes depending on what I'm clicking on. So when it comes to customizing the logo to match your brand and stuff like that, my client already has his website created. So I want the logo to kind of be cohesive with the website. So one of the best ways to do that is to have either the same or very similar font happening like on your website as within your logo. So as you can see, this font looks wildly different than this font. So this font is a serif font. It's got like these little, I don't know what they're called, like little leg things that come off of the letters. I have no idea what it's called. This one doesn't. So this is a sans serif font. Okay, so what we can do is right in here, we can go ahead and search a whole bunch of Canva fonts. There is no shortage of font styles. So with this one, we are going to use Georgia Pro. So I'm going to go ahead and change that font. I also want to change this font to the same one, just so we have some cohesiveness. And so if you can't find it, like I can't, oh, there it is, it's at the top, gonna go ahead and click on that. Okay, so that's how you can go ahead and change font. You can also mess around with the size if you want to. You can make it bold, you can make it unbold, you can make it italicized. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but basically you can do all of those things. If you're trying to get real fancy, you can also click on effects up here, and now you can add different effects to the font itself. If you are trying to have a very basic logo though, I would maybe recommend staying away from the effects. You can get a little wild here. Okay, so we are not going to add any effects to this actual font, but what we do want is to obviously change the text here. This is not my client's business name. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change what this is saying. Okay, so I went ahead and customized it with my client's business name. But let's say I want to mess with like the spacing in between here. You can come up here and click spacing, and you can go ahead and make it a little bit smaller. And then you can also click on whatever element of this logo that you want, and you can use your keyboard, like the up and the down arrow, to go ahead and to give it a little bit more spacing. So that's what I'm gonna do there. So yeah, I like how that looks. Now, in terms of colors, my client doesn't have too many colors on here, but I did notice a color that he liked in the footer of his website. So he likes this blue color. And so I am going to go ahead and snag this color. I do have this like Google Chrome extension. It's called Color Pick Eyedropper. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on that and then click on the color in the footer of the website. This is going to give me the hex color code. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that on my keyboard, and then I just clicked escape on my keyboard to exit out of that, but I copied the color hex code so that I can make sure that the color in this logo actually matches what is happening on the website. So if you don't have that, you can just go ahead and click on whatever element in the logo itself, and then you see these color circles here. You can go ahead and click on them. It's going to bring up the color panel. So you can go ahead and kind of choose, mess around with like any color you wish. You can go and have fun with that. Since I have the pro version, I have my own brand colors, but this logo is not using my brand colors. There's also default colors right here, but I want to go ahead and add a custom color. So I'm going to click on this add a new color, like this plus sign here, and I'm just going to paste that hex color that I copied from here using the Google Chrome extension. I'll put the link to the Google Chrome extension in the video description box below, but I went and pasted it in, and look at that. Bingo, baby. So I could also mess around with the other colors on here. I kind of like it blue and black. It really matches kind of like my client's website here. He doesn't have too many colors, so we're just going to keep it looking like that. And then it looks like we can go ahead and kind of make this part bigger. We can make it smaller. We can adjust the sizing of things that way. I actually didn't want to do that, but I wanted to show you that I did that. So that's how you can go ahead and like adjust the sizing of the font or of the actual elements in the logo. But to be honest, this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. If we did want to make sure that like everything in the logo was kind of centered, this might be helpful for some templates. It might not be helpful for other ones, but you can go ahead and click on all of the options. So in order to click on numerous elements in the logo, I'm holding down the shift button on my keyboard. So I'm clicking on those and then click the three little dots, click position, and then I want them all to be centered, okay? So you can go ahead, you can mess around with like how things are aligned. And then when I'm looking at it, I don't know if I want them to be centered. No, I kind of like it when it's not centered, but I just wanted to show you just in case you kind of want to take a look at things. Let's say like halfway through customizing this, maybe we wanted to mess around with like doing or customizing a different logo. What you can do is come back over here on the left-hand menu and click design. And then you can scroll through the other options. So it's like these were the options that showed up when we were kind of sifting through different ones. And so if you wanted to mess around with different ones, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this page. But basically you can add a page here. It's going to be a blank page. And then we can add a different logo just by clicking on it. And now you can go ahead and you can customize a different version. So sometimes when I'm creating graphics for my own website or for my own business, sometimes I'll go ahead and kind of customize like a few of them just to see maybe like which options I like. Okay, but I feel pretty good about this one. So what I'm going to do is actually select all of it, and I kind of just want to drag it so we don't have so much dead space on here. So I'm just dragging it until it basically reaches like the edges of this size that we have going on, and then I'm going to drag it so that it's centered. And then basically in order to download it, I'm going to click the share button up here in the right hand corner, and then I'm going to click download. Okay, so if you have the free version, you're kind of limited in terms of what formats you can download this logo in. So you can do JPEG, PNG, like all of these basically besides SVG. That is for paid pro users only. Okay, so the other option that is only available for pro users is to export it with a transparent background. Okay, so if you want to only use the free version, you can export this logo, but it's going to have the white background. If the header on your website also has a white background, this shouldn't be an issue. If the background of your header, maybe it's black, then maybe go ahead and just change the background of this design to better match the background of wherever you're putting this logo. That's kind of like a way that you can get away with kind of still using this free version of Canva. But essentially, if you have the paid version, you can go ahead and download it with a transparent background. And so we're going to go ahead and do that, but I'm actually going to export it as double the size. I want it to be 1,000 by 1,000. Okay, cool. Just because it looks better in terms of like when you usually add it to the website. So I'm going to go ahead and click download here, and it's going to go ahead and download. And then the next step is going to be to essentially upload this logo to your website. Now, of course, that step is going to look completely different depending on where your website is like hosted or created on. But my client has a Squarespace website, so I just really quickly uploaded this logo onto his website here. Now, if he takes a look at this, like this is a really good basic like logo to get him started with. If he did want a different logo that maybe wasn't so vertical and instead maybe took up more space this way, like horizontal, maybe we would just come back into the logo templates and try to find a more horizontal logo that would look a little bit better in his website header. So there's a bunch of things that we kind of have to keep in mind depending on where we're using this logo, but basically you can go through everything that I went in this tutorial, in this walkthrough, and kind of play around and find an option that best matches whatever you kind of need a logo for. So that's it for today's tutorial. If you guys found this video helpful, give me a really quick thumbs up. Truly, the simple thumbs up does go a long way in letting letting the YouTube algorithm know that my video is helpful and therefore pushing it out to more people that also might find it helpful. And if you have any questions about anything, or if you want to see more Canva specific tutorials, definitely leave me a comment below this video. I use your comments, your questions, and your suggestions to be able to create new videos for the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, and I will see you in the next video.